Have you ever felt that subtle tremor, that moment when the ordinary cracks open, hinting at the possibility of something extraordinary? Jake was just trying to get his driver's license, a rite of passage he'd put off long enough. At 21, college life was starting to feel a little too small, a little too predictable. He walked into that driving school expecting the usual, the smell of old vinyl, maybe a bored instructor. He never anticipated that one simple lesson could spin his world off its axis. When he first saw her, it was like the world had shifted from black and white to vibrant color. Sarah. Even her name felt like a whispered secret, a promise of something unknown. She wasn't just a driving instructor. She was a force of nature, a perfectly crafted enigma in a simple button-down. He hadn't expected her. No one could have. He had imagined a teacher who taught him to control the machine. Instead, she was someone who made him question the things he thought he already knew. That first lesson felt like a tightrope walk over an abyss. Every instruction, every shared glance, was charged with an electric energy that made his heart race and his palms sweat. Her hand, lightly resting over his on the steering wheel, sent a jolt that ran right down to his core, a heat that was both terrifying and undeniably thrilling. The lingering scent of her perfume, a blend of sandalwood and citrus, created a sense of intimate closeness that was both intoxicating and unsettling. He was learning how to drive, but he was also navigating a far more treacherous terrain, the map of his own desires, with her as the magnetic north. How could he focus on the road ahead when she was right there, a beacon of both temptation and fear, a beautiful equation he didn't quite understand? Each lesson unfolded like a secret chapter in a forbidden novel. A shared breath, a close proximity in the car's small confines. The way her hair fell over her shoulder when she leaned in to show him a gear. The glint of light catching the silver chain around her neck. The low, melodic sound of her laugh when he stalled the engine. A sound he longed to hear again and again. He found himself anticipating these moments, craving the thrill of that tension, losing himself in the quiet, breathless intimacy of their shared space. It was as if the world outside no longer existed, and all that mattered was them, the endless road, and the quiet, pulsing tension of a secret kept close. Was it just a harmless infatuation, a teenage crush lingering past its due date? Or was it something deeper, something that had the potential to consume him? He was drawn to her confidence, her playful challenges, the way she looked at him with a mixture of scrutiny and amusement that made him feel like both a child and a man. As they sat over lukewarm coffees, the attraction felt as tangible as the coffee cups, an invisible force drawing them closer. The lessons were transforming, not about handling a machine, but about confronting his own vulnerability, his own desires, and the terrifying exhilaration of surrendering to the unknown. It was becoming something real, something forbidden. Her gaze held a challenge, a hint of something dangerous, a silent taunt that made his blood rush. Was she testing him, pushing him to the edge, or was she feeling it too? This magnetic pull that defied all logic? He felt like a student in her class of desire, a lesson he was failing spectacularly. And he found himself caught, torn between staying on the edge and diving deep. Each lesson became a dangerous game of control and surrender, where every touch and word, no matter how ordinary, was charged with layers of unspoken meaning. He'd come to learn how to drive, but he was being dragged down a road he never intended on driving, one that was full of sharp turns and the thrilling fear of the unknown. life was changing lanes, and so was he. There were moments outside the car, mundane glimpses into her life, where she was still his instructor and he was still just a student. But there were other moments, sudden flashes of a different truth, where their roles became blurred and something undeniably intense bloomed between them. A shared kitchen, her fingers brushing his while reaching for a spice, her gaze lingering for just a moment too long. It was a world where even the simplest tasks felt charged with intimacy and the unspoken desire, a slow-burning fire that threatened to consume them both. How can you stay on the open road when all you truly desire is to be lost in this intimate moment? Love, they say, is a dangerous kind of driving, and he was navigating a treacherous route with no brakes. His heart was a compass, always pointing towards her, a force so powerful he couldn't ignore it. He was a passenger in a journey not of his choosing, yet one he knew he had to travel. He was drawn in, like moths to a flame, a fire that had the power to both warm him and burn him to ashes. Is it right to look at someone like that, to hold their image with such intensity in your heart? Maybe some mysteries aren't meant to be solved. Some desires just have to be felt. Was this love? Or was it just a thrilling, beautiful illusion? Perhaps they were both. And the road ahead, with its twists, its turns, and its dangerous curves, was just the beginning. And so, the adventure begins. Not just of driving, but of something far more consuming, a journey of the soul. What did you feel watching this? Have you had a similar experience? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video.